Now all she's gonna do now is just get under here and she's gonna finish just wiping up some oil that might have leaked down, dripped. Because you don't want to get that on your exhaust because it'll just start smoking, different things like that. It just tidy up everything. So she's cleaning up everything and wiping it down. There ain't any leaks.
Oh,
Oh, what?
there was some oil puddling back here.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you heard her. She said there was some oil puddling back there on the rail. So that's why you get on to just clean it up. So you don't just have oil slinging all around on the ground and on the roads. Well, they call me Big Herc, and on this channel you will see basic motorcycle install videos, wind therapy, vlogging, just our motorcycle life, enjoying each other's company and meeting new people and going to new places. My adventurous side exploring life with my not so adventurous wife, but we enjoy doing things together and it's a match made in heaven. Good morning, everybody. It's your guy here, Herc, with another episode here on Big Herc 80. Today's episode, as you can see, as the door behind me, we in the garage. My wife, 2012 Honda Pilot. We got it pulled in here, got it catty cornered just so we can get around it. But she was asking about doing an oil change. Well, she was asking about how to do an oil change. Her car needs an oil change. So today, we actually gonna be doing an oil change on it. Well, let me rephrase it. She's gonna be doing the oil change. She's over there right now behind the camera, but she's the one that's gonna be doing the oil change, and I'm just gonna be showing her how I do it and the correct way of doing it. We got our tools laid out. What you gonna need? There ain't much to it. We got our oil filter wrench. We got our new filter. We got our new Mobil 1 high mileage oil. We got a pretty sure 17 millimeter socket to take off the drain pan plug. Then we have our drain plug or drain pan right there. She's gonna get everything set up, so I'll be back here in a second. Sometimes I can get under her car without even raising it or jacking it up. We're gonna see if she can. If not, we're gonna jack it up a little bit. So let's figure that out and we'll be back. Okay, now we done got everything set up how she can do it and comfortably do it. So what we're gonna do first, and this is the way I do it. I'm not a mechanic, but it's the way I was taught. I've been doing all my cars this way. So she's gonna get in her car. She's gonna pop the hood. Now I got her to pop the hood. She's gonna lift it. And what I always do, this is just me. Oh, I see what she meant. Now, what we probably gonna have to do, we're gonna go in and get our granddaughter step stool or step ladder, or we'll get our step ladder. Okay, so what I'm gonna have her do, and this is the way I change mine, is I go ahead and crack the where you fill it up at,
Okay.
the filler hole. I just go ahead and crack it. The reason I do that, everybody does it different. The reason I do it that way when you start draining the oil, it'll actually flow better. You know what I'm saying? If you got it sealed up, it ain't gonna flow that great. So she has her tools. She gonna get on the ground, and I'll be back when she gets down there. Okay, what I'm gonna have her do there, of course, is the drain pan. Now, what I told her to do is point to them, babe. The two screws, it's got two plugs in it. I unscrew them a little bit, but I'm gonna have her unscrew them all the way. If you don't, and when that oil starts going in, it'll start burping. It'll start burping. You take them all the way out. You just set them to the side. And I went on and gave her a good shop rag right there, the red rag. I always take it under just in case when you unscrew the drain bolt, if it happens to shoot out and misses the drain pan. So now she's gonna slide it under. Okay. I can still see it, looks like it. Like you want your drain plug, the way I'm trying to tell her to do it, you want your drain plug to be in the center of the drain pan, if that makes sense. Now you just get your ratchet. And we checked it before she got down here to make sure it was going in the right direction. Just remember, righty tighty, lefty loosey. And you ain't got to take it all the way off with the ratchet. Just get it started. Yeah, it shouldn't be that tight.
Well, I need this and she broke it.
No, but just take it with you. Just keep it down there. So we got it broke loose. If you remember, if you hold pressure in while you unscrew it, and then when it's out, just jerk it out and it flow in. Now, the one thing about it, the last place we had the oil changed, they put that drain plug in tight. Now you can use your rag. See, it's in there perfectly. We'll let it flow out. Now you use your rag and wipe your hand off. Now, don't know if you can get to it. And I'm assuming that filter is probably just as tight. Now we're gonna move on to the oil filter. All right, so now I'm gonna have her. So now what I'm gonna have her do is actually go ahead and put the plug back in just so it ain't dripping, and we're gonna move that drain plug. Okay, let me show you. We had to make a trip back to the parts store. And what we did is, because the filter wrench I had, I bought two separate ones. You can of course see this one, Pennzoil. What is that? 65 to 67 millimeter, 14 flutes. And this is adjustable. Tried it inside the place. I don't understand, and maybe they wire down. Now it's a little bit smaller. So this is the one we had, this one, and this is what we bought. Yeah, let me show you what we ran into. Okay, with this one, it would never cinch down on it. Never. So we would never get it off. That's the issue when you let somebody else do your oil change versus when you do them. This one cinches on it. Plus, this one locks in. This one didn't lock in. Maybe at one time it might have. This one actually is nice, handy. It locks in, so you ain't got to worry about it. You can do it one-handed. Then this locks on too. I'm gonna let her try this one first. If it works and she can get it off, it's the one we're gonna keep. Probably take this one back. So make sure before you start that you have a filter wrench to get your oil filter off. And once you buy it, just try to keep buying the same filters when you change your oil, then you won't have to worry about it again. So now we're gonna get back down on the ground and start back. Okay, now we back under here. We're gonna get it started. We dried it up, there it goes. Then lock on, but you gotta twist it some. Now you want the other one?
Hold on.
Okay.
The fact I can't get it locked. I don't
Yep.
have enough room to turn it. But it's coming off.
All right, now the thing about it is, see if, okay, stop. The reason I'm saying that, see if you can turn it with your hand now.
Okay. Do I need to get ready to move this pan?
Yes, that's why. Don't, just see if you can turn it. Don't loosen it, just see if you can turn it.
Yes.
Okay. Now, put your drain pan under it.
Okay.
That way you can twist it. Now this is gonna come out.
Okay, hold on.
So what I'm telling my wife is, once you get it to where you can loosen it up with your hand, go ahead and get your drain pan back in position. She don't want to get oil to run down her arm and sleeve, so she'll raise her sleeves up.
Okay.
And then you can just start unscrewing it. Always kind of go slow. See, if you want, you can let it just flow out, move your hand, or you can just keep going. Cause it really won't stop.
Wait a minute, I got something in my eye.
You want some glasses?
Not now.
So now it ain't gonna flow out no more. Just try not to drop the filter. You can see where it's starting to feel loose. There it is. Now take it, and if you want, turn it upside down in the pan. And now you can come out, wipe your hands off.
Yeah, I think the other one would have been better.
The cap one?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
with small hands and you don't have the room to actually clamp it down, the other one would have been better for me.
So that's what we'll use then. To put the new one back on. So what my wife is saying, with this, with her having smaller hands, not necessarily her being a female or woman, but by her having smaller hands, she believed the other one would have been more useful. So we're gonna put the new one back on
Less stress.
with the other cap.
What's it?
What she was talking about is this other cap that I bought. If you see it, I mean, it clicks right on. So you just put a 1/4-inch ratchet in it, and you be good to go. Now, the one thing I normally don't do, but we seen it on, she watched the YouTube video and she asked me about it. This is the best way probably to do it, but I usually don't do it this way. I always take my oil, of course, and shake it up. So I'm going to shake it up, and I'm going to pour about half of this filter full of oil before we put it on. That way, oil is already in the filter, and when you start the motor, it won't be starting dry to be primed. So we're going to shake it up. I'm going to pour it in there for her. And it don't need much. We just pour a little bit in it, and then she can put this on. And then we put the drain plug back in and top her off. On this Honda Pilot, it only takes 4.5 quarts. This jug, let me see, it should say it on it right there. It's 5 US quarts. On the outside, it gives you numbers here. Right here it says 1 quart, 2 quart, 3 quart, 4 quart, up here it's 5 quart. So when we finish, we should be half of what's left. I'll show you. You can visually see it here, but also when you check your dipstick, you can see exactly when you full and when you ain't. So
no matter.
me personally, I do not go off of this. You go off that dipstick because this might not be truly 5 quarts. It might be over 5 quarts. It might be less than 5 quarts. So if you only go off of this without checking your dipstick afterwards, you can still be either heavy or low. Okay. So we're going to pour some in here. Can you see it there? That's enough. I just filled it up. Of course, it ain't got to be precise because it's got all these other holes. So I filled it up. Now she's going to get back on the ground. Also, I'm glad she reminded me. It's different when you're trying to show somebody how to do it. Right here on your gasket, you can take some of this oil and wipe it. The thing about it is there was a guy that commented or seen me, you know who you are, that talked about it. On my last video, I used the old oil to lube this up, to rub across this gasket. And he said, why'd you use that old oil and you had fresh oil there? Didn't think about it at the time, but hey, I listened to you. So here we go. We about to put everything back together. Okay, what she's doing now, of course, safety first, always. We had the gloves on, but she didn't have glasses on. So we got glasses before she decided to go back under. She's going under now. And the one thing that she didn't check for sure, and she's going to check and make sure the gasket is on the old filter.
Oh, here?
Yep. It's there. I can see it. Can you see it?
Yes, the rubber ring on the outside.
Yep, make sure that rubber gasket is still on the old filter. If not, that means it's up there and the new filter won't seal up good. Tell me when you're ready for the filter. Now we got under there and I showed her exactly how it screws in.
Okay, so that middle post is an actual screw itself.
Basically, yes, it's a bolt
It's a bolt.
with threads on it. And the inside of the filter is threaded and it screws on.
There it goes.
Yep, there you go. So now screw it all the way till it's bottoms out.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to pass you the ratchet. I can put extension on it, but I don't know if you'll need it. Now, what I do, I only go around a quarter of a turn. Go on, because it shouldn't have popped off. Yeah, keep going. There, we good. I'll double check it.
Okay.
Now, if you want, while you're down there, you remember where the drain plug went?
Yeah, but I can't see it from here. I can put it.
Okay, come out.
Okay.
Use your rag, because you was asking about the oil.
My chest is stuck.
Here, if you want, now wipe it off while you're there at the filter.
Okay, here.
Okay, we readjusted the camera, hoping to get a better angle, but she's pointing to where that drain plug, we gonna put it right back in. So go ahead and start putting it in. It should be going the same direction because it's tightening, unless you change it by accident. Now you just tighten it. Like I said, go about a quarter of a turn. You can move it. Good. Good. So now we done on the bottom. If you want to, you can clean up any excess oil you see.
I can see it.
So we back up top. She's about to take off this engine cover, plastic piece, whatever it's called. All you need is a Phillips screwdriver, and you have a hole. Hold on, bringing it. There you go. Just a Phillips screwdriver. You have a hole right here where my finger is. You have one right there. It's two little caps. Go ahead. You just stick it in and turn it. Turn it. There you go. Where it's lining straight up. I'm gonna adjust that.
Instead of
As you can
sideways,
see-
it goes this way, right?
Yep. Which put a screwdriver in,
And
then
just
turn
it. Okay.
and I just grab it and pull it up. You just pull it out of the way, and the reason we done it, that's where your oil, where you fill it up at, it just gets it out of the way, so you can put your funnel in there. Let's see if it fits better. So now we already shook up the oil earlier. I'm gonna shake it up again. I'm gonna let her fill it up, but you remember once it gets down to like right in there, stop.
Okay.
And what I'm showing her, once it gets down here to like the 1 quart, I want her to stop, and then we'll see how much is in it, and then we'll check the fluid level.
So pour some and then.
No, just keep pouring. Until you think you done poured in 4 quarts, then stop and check. It's always better to pour slow now and check it. Now the benefit to having 1 jug is you only got 1 jug to carry. The flip side is now you got to keep eyeballing every time you pour something in.
Okay.
Still got more.
I got
Yeah.
half a quart to go.
If you had just 4 individual or 5 individual quarts, you can know I could just dump his whole quart. Well, what I wanted, the reason I said stop at the quart, because it takes 4.5 quarts. I didn't want you to overshoot. So now you can get it to where it's under that half a quart.
I'm just under.
When you peel the funnel up, put that under it so no oil falls, and then put the cap on.
Okay.
Now you need to get over there now. Yeah. Because there's going to be oil that still run out because it ain't bone dry.
No, wait a minute. I should have done it with this hand.
All right, now put the cap on. Now what I'm going to do now is just crank it. I ain't going to let it run long.
We don't.
I'll let it run about, close that. I'll let it run about 5 to 7 seconds. Now, You can pull that dipstick out, the one with the orange, and check it.
It's not in camera.
Okay, so she pulled it out. What we want to do is when we check it, it should come up to this top line. That's when you know it's full. That bottom line is saying I'm low. And I'm pretty sure between the top line or the bottom line and that top line is a quart level. So stick it back in. What?
You said stick it in.
Oh, pull it out and check it again. I was like, did you drop it? No. Did it go all the way in? That's why it says some people go straight off of a quart level. I don't, for that simple reason. Loosen that back up for you. Okay, now she's going to check it again. You shove it all the way down to make sure it's seated all the way in the block and pull it up. Flip it over. See, we're right up to the line. So we are good on that. So now we can button everything back up. Okay, she checked everything, so she's gonna pull that funnel back out, put the cap on it. You remember to catch it. Now, of course, if we had a longer, skinnier funnel, we wouldn't even have to remove this cover. So if she's gonna be the one doing this, that's what we might do. Just get your cap back on. We're gonna get that plastic engine cover back on. I'm gonna show y'all how to record it or reset the oil life on the odometer or the instrument cluster. And then before we finish, I will get my wife on camera and see how she actually felt about doing the oil change for the first time. I want to show y'all because my wife was asking. Okay, the bottom, this is the part that goes to the firewall. You have two little, post rubber grommets on it. It doesn't screw, they just pop in. You got two of them. They line up 1, 2, and on the front, the one that she unscrewed goes here and, let me get the screwdriver, right there. So what I found easier is to get these two in first, and it's a feel, also a look. But you remember the screws, when she took it out, you wanted them straight up. That's where they lock in. Straight up on both of them. So what I found easier to do is line it up with the hole on each side. The front's in. Now, press that, and those are in. So, if you do the two front, closest to the front end of the car, tighten them down, those are pressed right in. Like I said, it might be an easier way, but that's how I found it easy for us. Now we're gonna get the owner's manual and I'm gonna show her how to reset the oil life on the instrument cluster. Okay, we're gonna show you, my wife brought up an idea. She said, how about we just show them exactly how we found out how to reset it. So if you have your owner's manual, she's about to show it. Ours stays in the glove box, but if you have the owner's manual, pull this one out. This is the thicker one. It is the actual owner's manual. It says it in the top right corner. If you open it up, the index is in the back of the book. It's in alphabetical order. Don't know if it's gonna show, but go to the O's. We looked up, of course, because we was doing an oil change. You go to O, and you would think it would be under how to, but it's not. Go into the one that says life engine. It started at page 559, I think. So go to 559, and it tells you just about what all the stuff is, and it probably ain't gonna show up well, but it shows you about engine life and all that stuff. We're going to show you exactly how to reset it. So you skip over 2 more pages. So actually starting on page 562, it shows you exactly how to reset it. So what you do, take your key and cut it to the on position.
Okay, I'm gonna show them this.
Uh,
So this page right here,
yep, it starts actually right here.
resetting the engine light life display.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hold the book and she's gonna go through and do it herself. Now we're about to reset it. So I'm gonna have her go ahead, put the key in and cut to the on position. Since we need an oil change, there it goes. I was waiting for that beeping to stop. Since we need an oil change, it wants you to get to this screen to where it shows oil life. What you do, point to the reset knob. Don't press it, just point. That is the reset knob. You press and hold that for about 10 seconds until the engine oil life and maintenance item codes will blink. So press and hold it till those lights blink. And I'm gonna count. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi. There it is. Now it says press and hold the knob for another 5 seconds, and it should disappear and the engine light will reset to 100. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi. See, it's not doing the way the owner's manual said. Let go, and then we're going to try this 5 seconds again. Press and hold for another 5 seconds. There it goes. Okay, it was actually a little longer than 5 seconds, and that's what I was telling her earlier. Just because it said 10 seconds or 5 seconds doesn't mean it's exact. So I was counting in my head, and it actually took about 7 seconds. But now, as you can see, point to it, our engine life is 100%. So we actually done, and this is, she don't want to be on camera, so I'm going to tell you, or I'm going to let her tell you through my microphone how she felt.
It wasn't hard at all. It would have been easier if we could have jacked it up, but that made me more nervous. So.
Oh, jack it up and get it off the ground. Mm-hmm. So you have more room to move around and actually get both arms in and stuff like that.
Yeah, because my upper body kept getting stuck. I couldn't go under the car anymore.
Yeah.
And my arms are shorter and my hands are smaller. So, like on the first wrench you had that goes around the oil filter, that was an issue because I couldn't.
And we found out that wrench was actually the wrong one anyway.
Yeah.
That's why we went and bought some.
It was easier to use the one that had
just the cap.
The cap versus the one that locks down, the second one you bought. But like for me, I think the cap would have been just less of a hassle because.
Yeah, because you ain't got to fight it.
Yeah, and I don't know, with someone of me being a female, I don't know, like we don't have, depending on your occupation doesn't mean you have strong wrists, so I didn't have a lot of wrist strength or something to
get it on and do it.
Yeah, and the cap for the oil, the bolt to take out of
yeah.
What's that part called?
Drain pan. Well, the oil pan, not drain pan, oil pan. You talking about under the car? Mm-hmm. The actual oil pan.
That was very hard, but you said that was not usual.
Oh yeah, that was hard.
It down.
Yeah, somebody tightened that too much. You don't never have to tighten up your drain plug or the oil filter to that extreme.
Yeah, but everything else was pretty easy.
Yeah. So
just follow the steps and make sure you don't miss them, so that way you don't mess your car.
Yeah, don't rush and just take your time. But the one thing we are going to do is get back under the car just to make sure there's nothing leaking. We did check it, but we're going to check it again. I'm going to let her check that. But other than that, we're going to put everything back, get the garage back in order. We about forgot a step. And what we about to do, of course, she pulled, that's where all the old oil is. What we're gonna do is take it outside. I keep my old 5-quart jugs. And what I do, oh, she's about to grab one. You sit over there. What I do is actually pour this oil, the old oil, back into a jug. The way to do it is, you remember we took out both plugs? I definitely put the bottom one in. Better safe than sorry, and I take it outside. That way, if we do make a mess, it is not on our concrete. So we'll put the old filter back in that jug or that box, put it upright. It should be empty now. And I take my old oil to Advanced Auto Parts, O'Reilly's. All them places usually have a bucket or a bin in the back of the store. You just fill it back, or you just dump the oil in there. So I take those jugs, like I said, I fill it up, take those jugs to the parts store, pour it in. Now I still got an old jug. So we do that part, and like I said, I almost forgot that until we pull the drain pan out. So we're gonna use the same funnel, pull this oil that we just changed and took out, and put in that 5-quart jug. Okay, my wife says show this so people can see what's going on. We got it outside. I'm gonna hold it, and she is going to pour it in. So now pick it up. Now take that cap off, cause that's the lid is coming. No, take that cap off. Yeah, you don't wanna, cause I don't know how much is in it.
It'll flow better.
It will flow better. Now start pouring it, and let's just see how it flows. Now, you can. See, you ain't gotta take it off. You can dump it now and pour. And now we just slowly pouring it in. All right, that's it. It ain't gotta be completely empty. All right. Put that cap back on. And like I said, now we take that to the store and we'll dump it. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and end it right here, but this is some of the stuff I wanted to come and do on this channel. It's just to show that you can work on your own stuff at home if you have the basic tools and just a little patience. So this is my wife's first time ever doing an oil change. She was able to do it. She gave you her insight on it and what was easy, what wasn't, what would make the job easier. But thank you to everybody that tuned in. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.